What's up, guys? So now that we moved into this gap, our Bitcoin long's pretty much done. So I'll be waiting now, probably to see how this week forms. If this week forms a gap, maybe we could run the same playbook that we did on that last long, internal range to external. But it's also possible that this gap gets inversed, and really we start heading for this one and then all-time highs. But yeah, we'll just have to see how this week plays out. Things are looking pretty bullish, so I don't see any reason at all to be bearish. I think alts should be good to go as well, barring any major displacement from Bitcoin. But so far, it just seems like it's consolidating, which is a really good sign. So, uh, yeah, that looks good. And ETH, like I said, ETH is gonna be pretty freaking strong. I said that in the last video, which I'm kind of upset. I didn't even take the long on ETH, but it's whatever. I'm not gonna cry about it, but I do think that this level right here is the draw on liquidity. And yeah, I know that's a bit of ways up, but like I said, this ETH BTC chart just really panned out super nicely. That was just a really nice sweep, and now it makes sense that we start taking all that out. And so for ARB was a little bit tricky for me when I was looking at it, uh, just because it looks like it's kind of pretty much near all-time highs, so calling something pretty high is a bit difficult. But to be honest, it looks good to make it another high right now. It's respecting bullish order flow. So yeah, I think ARB to this level right here. If you aren't positioned already and you wanted to get positioned, I don't know if it gives a deeper pullback than that, to be honest, but I would probably aim for in here if we did, or even just this. Maybe these get swept, a good move into there. Could get long from there, but yeah, overall, like I said, I think it looks good. It's literally inverse this daily for a value gap. Perfectly respected it. So draw to me is here, and then first trouble area or potential trouble area, I would say there. But honestly, I think it just makes the move up. Render, yeah, render already pumped. Pretty sure the drawn liquidity is there, and yeah, I mean, it looks like that's what it's going for right now. After that, I'd be interested to see if this weekly candle we can create some sort of gap that we can play off in here. But if it just continues with its strength and going for all-time highs, may have to drop down and just see what the daily gives you. Pay attention to the price legs and look for any imbalances. Yeah, see, like this move up, once it starts moving to that liquidity like that, you know, even daily gaps, you don't have to use the weekly, but weekly is just really reliable in my opinion. So maybe today we create another gap there. But yeah, you want to see some type of good reaction off a level like that. Link, man, Link is so nice. I'm honestly upset that I had TP'd from our long in there. I should have just held it. But let's see. So Link is just taking out external range liquidity. We have a small little gap in here that probably well, it did already take out this high, to be honest, so now we're in this really big fair value gap. So maybe I guess a fill of the gap would be a decent target. Yeah. Yeah, I would just be careful of any. Uh, yeah, it's already up right now. I don't know if I would hop in it at this point. Yeah, that's a big move. Yeah, I would probably just do the safe thing and wait for a retracement to discount. I just don't know if we get it. But it would be a really nice test at this level. Could even say right there is where I would be interested in for a potential move back into here to fill this gap up. So from here to here, got 11% to draw liquidity 18. But yeah, it would be tough to get in on that one, I think. With Tia, that doesn't really look too encouraging. Yeah, I mean, see maybe the 3 days a bit more clear. I would really like a setup off this level, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think we get it. It's really that's what makes trading in a bull market, like in its own unique way, a bit difficult. Is that you kind of have to measure how aggressive you want to be, just based off of what the chart's looking like. But this got inversed, so that tells me draw is probably lower. It bothers me when I can't use the weekly, but I mean it's respecting this level so far. The only thing for me that's concerning really is just the lack of displacement through that. And now price is just kind of chilling out. But to be honest, this doesn't look like a bad setup. Now I'm looking at the 4 hour. This is a long with your stop. Probably, I want to say at that low. I'm targeting this high. But I think I'm just much more of the opinion right now. Just really because of that lack of displacement that all this looks up for grabs now. Maybe like a pronounced push into there, into the middle of the range. Yeah, this one's a bit tricky for me. So far though, I will say, objectively speaking, it is respecting bullish price action. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna stick with that. I think higher. You know, just because there's nothing too concerning. It's more just like a retracement so far. But yeah, not into discount just yet, and that's kind of what I want. So yeah, I would be waiting for that. Probably like a deep push into here. Below that, I would say. I would probably have like a limit order and then have tighten validation. Man, that sucks. Thing ran so hard. This one's to get on board with this one is I would probably get in here. This looks like a pretty solid level to me. Yeah, we just have these equal lows here, so would make sense to me. Price pulls back, it's already kind of doing this sell side. kind of curve thing right now. So points of interest that later in the week, probably early next week, that we're gonna end up coming right back to. Pixel airdrop for Ron already happened, so I'm assuming that's what we can attribute to this price action. I was waiting yesterday when I was looking at charts to see if we inverse this daily fair value gap and then maybe just get like a short little setup in here. But yeah, it looks like it wants higher to me here at least. And then yeah, well, it's already taken that out. Next is all-time high. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it looks good for all-time high, honestly. I don't think it's that far off. If we're gonna take this and this was our pullback, then it makes sense to me. At least a measured move. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where exactly past all-time high, but it looks good. Yeah, I think it's going now. Mina. Okay, so we have this internal range liquidity. And now we're moving to this external range liquidity. And there is a pretty nice gap in here. Let's see what the current daily dealing range is looking like. Yeah, I would be really interested in picking up some at this level. Let's call it 1.3140. That's where I would be interested in getting in, and then targeting into here and validation. Honestly, below this low, because I mean we wouldn't just be reaching for this high, because I don't think we get the scenario where we just pump and it's like a lethargic pump. I think it's gonna at least give another leg, which should look something like, let's say from here to here, the bare minimum. Yeah, makes sense to me. As an extended target, let's see, we filled in this gap, got our pullback. Next up for me, in terms of points of interest using the higher time frames, is 2.1. I know that's a pretty big move, but whatever this thing is, it looks like it's been pretty strong, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Mina. Sol perfectly filled our weekly fair value gap. I got a little bit ahead of myself once we came into the discount. I think I took an early long, or maybe my stop was too tight. I don't remember, but yeah, I think still looks pretty good for higher. Got that level out of the way. This level is out, so maybe I could see a pull back into here, to this gap would make sense to me, and I'd be interested. Even deeper into this gap would be even better, but framing a long setup off of this would be pretty nice, to be honest with you, because we'd be aiming for 126 already with 2R, and obviously we could look for extended targets in 140, and then probably I think it shoots past that and is going to want to come into the 160 level where we have a gap. Let's see though. Things look pretty interesting right now. Yeah, oh, that's so nice. we didn't get displacement through here, but we did come back into the silver bullet reaccumulation zone. So yeah, I still think higher for Sol. This I would really like this during the week, maybe during Wednesday. Yeah, and Cass is just gone. I missed this setup a long time ago, and it's bothered me ever since. But yeah, I mean, from here where we go, I mean, it's all-time highs really anywhere. I suppose maybe I'm not really too uh up to date with like the what the market cap of this thing is, but let's see. From year to year, 30%. Those are the levels I'd be interested in or targeting, at least. And if we use a measured move to see, yeah, we'll probably get another chance to enter somewhere in here. There'll probably be a setup. Maybe next week. Could be this week too. I don't know. It's moving. Okay, let's see Mavia. Oh, it's a brand new coin. Okay, let's see what we got on the 4 hour. Hmm. Uh, Charts like this are always kind of a little bit tricky, but doesn't look bad to me, to be honest. Mm, I'm just trying to see how I position in this. I mean, this this wick is pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. This one's tough, man. Yeah, I mean, probably right here. I think I'd be interested, but kind of already tagged the level. So as a bare minimum target, I'd be looking into here now. But other than that, yeah, this one I don't have too good of a read on this. But so long as it respects this and let's say no close below this, I say let's go to 10, almost $11. Yeah, you're not always gonna have a clear bias on the chart. Sometimes maybe you need to step away from the charts, or other times you're sandwiched between two higher time frame levels, or you get coin that's brand new, and yeah, the brand new price action, there's not a whole lot to go off of, but still other things we can use. But taking a look at R.I.P, no gaps, no nothing. Let's see, maybe the 3 day is a little bit cleaner. Okay, well, drawn liquidity looks like here to me. Where you could position, if we get a move back down here, which I don't know, it's already so close to the liquidity, we might not get it since it's already pretty much there. But yeah, nothing too actionable on this. This is starting to look a little bit distributive, honestly. Yeah, this looks like it's going down. I think you probably do get the pullback, and then a move into here becomes really likely. If these aren't even taken out before we move into here, that's gonna look like a nice setup for me, and it would probably look something like. And remember, this is without me refining the entry, obviously, um, because we're not there yet, so I can't really watch to see what price does. But a stop below here seems reasonable. I mean, you're getting about 1 R You could go for the fill at least, but or just tighten up your stops down here for better risk to reward. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on strap so far. Looks like it's gonna start heading down into that. RLB, king of the gambling coins. Maybe monthly's cleaner. Monthly is not cleaner, but I do want to take note of that volume imbalance. That's a really nice sweep, by the way. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that was probably the level. Maybe 3-day, let's see. External, internal, external. Yeah, probably in the short term. Probably a move into here. Because, yeah, this is a pretty nice sweep. The sweep is nice, so. And if we take that as our manipulation leg, then what you get is new all-time highs. And this being targeted, which on a higher time frame, swept external, look for internal. It makes sense to me. Yeah, so I think good for a move higher, honestly. And then just look for on the daily that down close candles are supporting price. I mean, that right there is a pretty good reaction, if you ask me. So yeah, RLB's looking good. Rune, really nice, honestly. Move into this internal range liquidity, and now we are reaching for external, and that's our framework, that's our bias. Where can we position is the next question. Let's see, we have this price leg right here. We can measure up, or let's just do, yeah, and then we'll see maybe where we can expect a pullback or maybe reaccumulation. Oops. That's solid, honestly. That would be my point of interest for Rune. Probably easiest to just set a limit there. Your stop, if I wouldn't put it under this low, I would give it some room to breathe. Maybe below this low, honestly, I would do it just because, generally speaking, without the refinement of the setup, remember, like, if I was live streaming, we could start like refining our risk down a lot more, but since we're talking, kind of vaguely about, not vaguely, but weekly swing setups, it's going to take some time to transpose. But these kind of trades are my favorite because once you're on the right side of them, you can start pyramiding and compounding your position, and just like we did with Bitcoin, it turned out really nicely. And if you're using proper risk management, like this kind of room to breathe shouldn't scare you. But yeah, looks good. Matic looks pretty much a lot like Rune, but it is already getting closer to doing the dance. We had this internal range, external, internal. So yeah, it makes sense to me that this is what we're reaching for right now. And I mean, there's no real nice place to get positioned here, I don't think, unless like this forms a gap, and I guess that level's okay, but kind of already like nearing the end of its move, I think, into here. But I suppose I shouldn't discount the fact that this is all pretty much ranging for a really good amount of time, and if we're expecting here is a minimum target, moving past into here is not unlikely. There's blunt highs here. Yeah, honestly, I think it does move higher. So you could, um, take something maybe like this with your first TP in here, here, and then there. But let's see. Maybe I want to give my stop a little bit more room to breathe if I was trying to really get positioned on this, but I think there's probably better things to look at. There's magic we just saw. I mean, rune we just saw, so that would be one. Let's see. Uh, and it looks like it's already kind of doing the dance. Higher time frame. I think in here is where it's reaching for. How you would get in at this point? I don't see anything too. I think it hits this level before this happens, but I would probably buy this level if we get displacement above here, meaning a candle close or two above, and then we form a gap. I would probably take something like that, and then my stop just right here or right here. Let's see. Last one, PYR. Check it out. Alright, so monthly. Remember, honestly, my model that I used to trade crypto is not that complicated. If you just watch a couple of my videos, you'll probably get the gist of it eventually. But okay, we got monthly internal range liquidity. I'm now expecting external range liquidity, broke market structure, displace, all that really nice stuff that we like to see. If a weekly gap forms and this just kind of consolidates this week, that's fine, and then I'll just look for a move into the gap, assuming we get that though. On the daily, someone was like, no, I need to get into this right now because I've been looking at this coin forever and it started moving without me. I would probably say that's your entry. It's already moving off of it. And your stop could be at the low here, and there's a minimum you could target into here. But me, I would probably, I guess it doesn't look too bad honestly if you took it here. I mean, it's giving a pretty good reaction too. And I think the risk to reward is there. Something like, let's just assume that you rushed in. I'll be generous and we'll just leave it there at the low, and then I don't like 1.5 R, but who cares? Let's just see. But yeah, ultimately I think it just looks good for a move up into $9. Looking over the more medium to long term, I guess. Actually, I wouldn't take it just because I don't like all of these uncleaned highs. So in that case, I would be waiting for probably I would be looking for inverse for value gaps. I think maybe even on the 1 hour would suffice. I don't know. This one's kind of hurting my head trying to think about how to get on board to this one, but those are just my general thoughts. I'm sure something more clear will present itself throughout the week. But if you're already positioned, I would keep on holding into those targets that we talked about. But you know what? Actually, I didn't notice this until now, but we do actually have this higher time frame inverse for value gap, which I don't think we've tapped yet. So you know what? I would take it here. and I would really like that setup, to be honest. So that's pretty much it. I hope me breaking it down and kind of starting with pretty much all fresh charts helps you understand, that I'm not trading in some crazy. I don't have like 1,000 machines or something like that. It's pretty simple. We just keep it simple and have good risk management, money management, and we can make a bag. But yeah, it's been fun. I'll try and do these every Sunday, Saturday. Probably Saturday because I freaking knew that we were gonna get some pumps across the board for our Sunday pump, and yeah. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.